Today in the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, we are going to be talking on what happened on SummerSlam last night. We're going to be talking about how Seth Rollins worked everybody and had everybody believing that he was hurt and whatnot, and he wasn't going to make his stand to SummerSlam. And last night, he showed up, he cashed in his money in the bank, and the rest is history. We're going to be talking about that and much more on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, episode 256. And of course, we are here one more time for another episode and to talk about what happened in SummerSlam and whatnot. And last night, after the show was over, I was fortunate enough to join the circle of debate. And we all talked about how the ending of SummerSlam ended. A lot of people within our conversation, my boy Justin Times 211 said that he had rather had Seth Rollins interfere in the match and when I cash in his money in the bank and during the match from him to beat Seth Rollins or Gunther for the title, because he made it clear during his whole feud with CM Punk was he does not want CM Punk nowhere near the world title or even touching it, which I kind of agree with him. Others were okay with the way things ended. Was Seth Rollins coming out with his crutches, with his knee brace, making it look like he was really legit hurt. Now, when he came out with the brace and the crutches, I said to myself, wow, he's coming out. Oh, this is a work. It's been a work all this time. Now, mind you, that I also made a comment during the Circle of Debate watch party, and I said, why do I have a feeling that Seth Rollins is going to cash in tonight and whatnot, and he's going to go after CM Punk, because CM Punk to me was going to win the title. Now, I didn't want CM Punk to win the title because I'm a big Gunther fan, regardless. You know what I'm saying? But the only reason Gunther lost is because he was already injured. So that was the reason that WWE decided to go with that route, with that storyline, because Gunther is hurt and whatnot. So him losing the belt is not a big deal, even though we did see something that WWE doesn't do very much, and that is, have a wrestler bleed during the match and whatnot. So that was a first for me, or Molly. They don't do it all the time, but this was a good way for them to take the belt out of CM Punk. When Rollins came out, I kept looking at Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman kept going backwards and showing the briefcase. Meanwhile, Seth Rollins was walking away with crutches, and I'm like, no, he's catching. He's not hurt. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. But let's talk overall with the SummerSlam, because the SummerSlam, the beginning of the show, we had the opening match was Jey Uso and Roman Reigns against Bronson, Reid, and Bron Breakker. Now, and I'm going to say it here, a lot of people may not agree with it. What's up, Justin? I had a great time with you guys talking about, it was like a post-show conversation we had about the whole show. And I like I said, I agree with what you said with Seth Rollins not wanting, CM Punk touching the belt, even though he ended up touching the belt for 5 minutes. And the show, I think that match saved the show, but we're going to talk about it. So to me, that match between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso against Bronson, Reid, and Bron Breakker, again, and I said this last night, Roman Reigns didn't need to win. A lot of the guys are saying, well, he's doing a movie, which in a way, yeah, you won the guy. you know, if they're going to promote his movie, you don't want the guy who's in the movie to lose. But I didn't think that, you know, that Roman Reigns and Jey Uso needed to win that match. I don't think so. You know, they really didn't need it. And I think by you beating Bronson, Reid, and Braun Breaker, you're kind of making that group a little weak. That's the way I was thinking during the night. I was like, wait a minute, you know, again, I was thinking of Seth Rollins hurt and why are they doing this? If he's, you know, it didn't make no sense at that time and at that moment. So with that I felt like, you know, that there was Roman Reigns didn't need this win. You know what I'm saying? Jey Uso is going to do what Jey Uso does. Now, what I have a problem with was when during the match, and a lot of people say, oh, no, this is for the entertainment of the crowd, was having Jey Uso's introduction theme come out. He said, oh, let's rerun it. I'm like, dude, are you serious? The match already started. Why are you even doing this? And it's not the first time they've done it. They've done it a couple of times and whatnot. And there was, I think he made a comment in some podcast or whatever there. You know, he was getting tired while doing his intro because when he's doing the yeet. So my question is, why in the hell the bell rang? Why are you doing the yeet intro again? Let's run it back. And a lot of people were like, okay, whatever. One of the guys from PW Unlimited was like, he didn't like it. He was mad because it's like, how are you starting the intro again? Which I kind of agree. I mean, WWE runs with this. They're the type that will burn, you know, something new or whatever cool, and they'll burn it to the fucking ground and whatnot. So, again, I didn't think that Breaker and Bronson should have lost because they the ones going to be the factions going to be taking stuff over in the crowd and the thing. So it's just, you know, something to, how you call it? Hold on one second. Something just fell down. My light went out and whatnot. Give me a second, guys. My light went out. Sorry, this is live. This is what happens when it's live. Things are falling apart over here. Anyway, we're back. This is live. Anyway, so I didn't like that. So for them winning that, to me, again, it left me with a bad taste in my mouth because it made me, you know, say, okay, now I got to question why this group is together if they losing matches. Anyway, so then the match after that, I think it was the Charlotte. I think it was the tag team. Yes, the women tag team. Those tag team belts that I call it the Juju belts because every time someone got those belts, someone gets injured. So I'm going through the matches right now. Yeah, the women's tag team. Now, once again, and I said this last night, Roxanne Perez gets screwed at a pay-per-view. Now, WWE is very, very lazy when it comes to doing a tournament because the tag team belt, the women's tag team belt, should have been vacated and put in a tournament because Liv Morgan is hurt. They didn't do that. Instead, they gave the belt to Roxanne Perez. I don't have an issue with that, but Roxanne Perez was a 33 days tag team champion along with Raquel, and they went and had Alexa Bliss and Charlotte beat these girls. I mean, I don't have a problem with Alexa Bliss winning the title, but Charlotte, you know, you got to keep her happy by giving her some type of title because this woman is always playing politics in the back. So with that being said, you know, was it the right call? Kind of, because now what they're going to do with the Judgment Day, because, you know, Roxanne Perez is part of that Judgment Day stuff, and I think they should just break up Judgment Day. It's not the same. When Edge first brought it up, and you have Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, you know, the fact that they diss Carlito and whatnot. So the group of people that had gone through there, it's not even funny. But now I want to see what they're going to do with Roxanne Perez, because Roxanne Perez, and I said this also last night, Roxanne Perez is the MVP for me because that's the woman who I feel that has improved a lot from where she came from where I saw her the first time, where she was Roxy and Ring of Honor and whatnot. And they're not giving her spots and whatnot. She lost to Jade Carghill during the King of the Ring, which I don't think Jade Cargill should have never won the King of the Ring, to be honest, and whatnot. So, again, she gets screwed over, but to, a talent gets screwed over to get Charlotte a title. You know what I'm saying? The match was decent and whatnot, and I don't know why they did this, but it's just they just have this tag team together, and they're gonna break up, and that's the problem with WWE. They do it with the women's. They do it with the men's tag team. They don't know what to do with the tag team division. They're doing it with the women's tag team division. They do it all the time. I don't know what's going on, and it's crazy. But then we had a match that I felt they shouldn't even be in the in the pay-per-view, and that was Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn. And again, we saw Karrion Kross losing another match. Now, a lot of you guys are saying that he might re-sign with WWE, but I'm saying for what? They're not using him to his potential. He's been there for almost 4 or 5 years. I remember they let him go. He came back. I mean, the guy, they are shitting on him constantly. And a lot of people are like, oh, but not everybody could be world champion. Not everybody. It's not about being world champion. It's about putting him in a storyline where he could be dominating. Instead of this damn stupid storyline they got with him and Sami Zayn, a lot of people think that Sami Zayn is going to end up winning the Rumble at the Saudi Arabia, and he's going to win the world title at WrestleMania. I don't agree with it. For the simple fact, I'll still say why. You know what I'm saying? Why give it to him now? You know what I'm saying? I mean, the fact that they made him beat Gunther for the Continental Champion is not believable to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, I don't have any issue with Sami Zayn, but I think Sami Zayn's time to be in the spotlight has come and gone. And that's just me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people disagree with me. That's fine. But I don't think Sami Zayn should be the world champion. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But Karrion Kross taking another loss, another L, shall we say? And again, I'm saying he should not even sign with WWE. He should go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't know about AEW, but go to New Japan, bro. Like, they're not treating you right. They're not treating you or your wifey right. So that's just my thought about it. You know what I'm saying? There's just been 4 years of wasted talent. So the Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Carghill, a lot of people were not happy because Tiffany Stratton won. But if you look at it, and the guys were saying it, and it was true from the circle of debate, they did not make a good storyline out of this. All they had was Tiffany and Jade Carghill doing a tug of war with the world title. They didn't, upgraded this storyline at all. And again, Jade Carghill is not ready for a world title. She's not ready for a world title. I don't care what anybody says. She's still green. You know what I'm saying? She's still green and whatnot. What's up, Henry? Kross has been in misuse since the day he hit the main roster. You think he'll be better off leaving? I think so. Thank you, Don Foxhill. I think so. He should go to New Japan. I think they go to New Japan. That guy could be a great gauging over there. You know what I'm saying? Get into matches with Yoda Sushi, matches with David Finlay, him and Taishi. You can name it. He could have great matches with all those people in New Japan. But being in WWE, he's not going to do jack doodle because they don't know what the hell to do with him. So, going back to the Jade Carghill thing, and Jade Carghill is not ready to be world champion. She's not. And I know a lot of people will be saying, no, Tiffany Stratton is not doing her thing either. Well, Tiffany Stratton and kind of reminds me when Kenny Omega won the IWGP belt and his ring was flat. Tiffany Stratton has been flat, which is true. I mean, I'm not too crazy about her either, but as far as technical wise in the ring, I think Tiffany Stratton is better than Jade Carghill. I mean, she has proven it. I mean, when she first time I saw her was at the Survivor Series, the Women's Survivor Series, I think the War Games. She proved to me that girl has skills in that ring. Now, do I think they're using her correctly? They're not. They kind of misusing her also as far as storylines concerned. She had a big feud with Nia Jax for months. Had that match with Charlotte, which wasn't great at all. So, can't really blame her. You got to really blame whoever's doing that storyline. Who's running the women's division was most likely Miss Bruce Pritchard or Michael Hayes. You know what I'm saying? So, who knows? we don't know who's running that and whatnot. So Jade Carghill, I don't know what they're gonna do with her because she had this story now with Naomi and Bianca Belair, and they went and it just moved along with that. Had Jade Carghill beat Naomi at Saturday Night Main Event or whatever it was, Revolution, Evolution, whatever it was, only for Naomi to then to cash in her briefcase and become world champion and whatnot. And so now she's gonna be in the 3-way and whatnot. So I don't know about that. The Randy Orton and Jelly Roll match versus McIntyre and Logan Paul, I wasn't too crazy about it, and I'm gonna be honest with you because again, I'm not a big fan of celebrities going into the wrestling ring and doing their thing, like, because I take it as, and I'm gonna say this, I'll take it as you don't need no practice to be a wrestler. You don't need to put in the work, years of wrestling work to become a wrestler in WWE. They'll put anybody in the ring. They had put Bad Bunny in there. Now they put Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll lost a lot of weight, and I got to give him one credit, and that credit is my man took a frog splash from the top of the pole to the tables from Logan Paul and whatnot. But for him to do that, and then he's gonna go and do a comebacker, what are we doing here? And then, somebody said that they weren't happy because Jelly took the pinfall because usually celebrity wins. I was happy about it, to be honest, because I still feel these celebrities should not be in no WWE ring or any ring at that. Even AEW. AEW keeps bringing that AJ Boom. He used to be a wrestler. I don't want to see him either. She's hurting my eyes, to be honest. So my thing is, Jelly Roll did his thing. I'll give him that. He took that frog splash like a real trooper, but celebrities should not be in the ring. You know what I'm saying? McIntyre and Logan Paul wins that match and whatnot. Jelly gets pinned. Now, where does it go from here now? That's the question. You always got to think, where does it go from here? And, of course, we went to the main event. The main event, of course, was CM Punk versus Gunther. Gunther beat the shit out of CM Punk. He chopped him. He beat him. He powerbombed him. He did all kinds of stuff and whatnot to him. And I knew something was up. But when I saw that Mr. Gunther was beating on him, trash talking to him, I did not know at that time that Gunther was hurt and he was about to lose the belt. I did not want CM Punk winning nothing. And I'm going to tell you why, because to me, once Hangman Page won the AEW World title, I said to myself, how much you want to bet that WWE and the pettiness that they're doing going to put the belt on CM Punk? And they did. But the best part out of this, which I loved, and he worked all of us, was when Seth Rollins came out. Seth Rollins had everybody fooled. He did a ruse. Him and the mad scientist, the architect and the mad scientist, put this together, had every wrestling fan, including dirt sheets, including myself, full, making it look like Seth Rollins was actually really, really hurt and whatnot. So now everybody say, oh, but that's not cool because LA Knight, that's not cool because LA Knight, they kind of took that away from him, whatever. And honestly, let me tell you something. You guys still talking about LA Knight. LA Knight has gotten his title shots. He has not come through. Or WWE, there's something that WWE don't see from him that they don't want to make him as a champion and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to figure out why LA Knight is not, it's over. He's over. Don't get me wrong. He's over. I still think he's a Steve Austin wannabe. He's over, but WWE doesn't feel to giving him the world title. You got to ask these questions. You know what I'm saying? Instead, they give it to Seth Rollins, which I think Seth Rollins is the right person to get that belt. I mean, he should have never lost the belt to begin with, but he lost the belt to Drew McIntyre, which Drew McIntyre ended up losing the belt back to, he lost the belt to Damian Priest. But all that stuff with that world title, everything ends up falling perfectly. Because let me tell you, also, this match saved this pay-per-view. Because this pay-per-view was not all that. Okay? They dragged the tag team match between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns against Bronson, Reid, and Bron Breakker. They dragged the match between Sami Zayn and Killer Kross or Karrion Kross, which to me, I felt that match shouldn't even be in the card. Could have put that in the Raw. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I mean, to me, the pay-per-view was doing, it wasn't all that. And the problem with WWE lately, since Backlash, their pay-per-views and Sunday Night Main Event has not been good at all. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, you know, this whole thing with CM Punk beating Gunther, and the best part is, or kind of the best part, is that they had Gunther bleeding from, I don't know from where, and it made it look like he was in shock and whatnot. And, you know, CM Punk took advantage of it, and he hit two GTS to Gunther to beat him and whatnot. Now, you're probably going to say, but that kind of make Gunther weak. No, he hit two of them. He needed to hit him with two. Okay. And throughout the whole match, you saw CM Punk being the guy who's doing the comeback. Kind of remind me of the Jon Moxley and Hangman Page match, because they were going that route. The difference was that the Hangman Page and the Jon Moxley match was more brutal. There was more blood. There was forks. There was kind of all kinds of shit in that match. But this match was more technical wrestling, where you saw Gunther dominating, chopping the shit out of CM Punk. But the best part was seeing Seth Rollins pretending that he was hurt, then cashing in on his money and beat the bricks out of CM Punk with that briefcase before he stomped him and beating CM Punk. Now, CM Punk right now is going to be the guy who made it to the top, but then the title was stolen from him. You know what I'm saying? And best way Rollins did it. He cashed in when he had CM Punk at his weakest. You know what I'm saying? And either way, the way my boy Justin said, if it was Seth Rollins going in the middle of the match and cashing in, or this, either way, CM Punk does not get the title, and the story continues. Justin is saying it was great to see something new and incredibly clever with the Money in the Bank holder instead of putting them on a multiple match losing streak and teasing multiple cash-in. Yeah, and WWE is known for that. They love teasing people with this cash-in. They did it with Damian Priest, I think it was 2 years ago. They kept teasing, he's going to cash it in. And I'm glad that they got rid that Naomi cashed in on her stuff. Seth Rollins cashed in, they cashed in quick. It wasn't now, let's wait for a year. Oh, he's going to cash in. Oh, my God. And it gets to a point you're like, he ain't cashing in. Because cash-ins don't really happen on Monday Night Raws or SmackDown. The last cash-in that I saw, that I remember, it may have been other ones, but the only one that I remember was when Dolph Ziggler cashed in on Alberto Del Rio at the Meadowlands in Jersey. I think it was 2009, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. It's crazy because WWE loves teasing people with the cash-ins. You know what I'm saying? Overall, this pay-per-view was a 7. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I say it was a 7, and Justin, I don't know if you're on right now, but it was a 7 was because the main event saved this show. The main event, it kind of reminded me of WrestleMania Night 1, when the guys who saved it was Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. So they did it again. They saved the shows. And I give it a 7. But again, like I was talking to the guys last night, and the way WWE's been running this show, or they shows, Ariel Emanuel, I think, is the one running WWE instead of Triple H. Because, again, the last time I saw a good pay-per-view, besides last night, and I won't call it good, was Backlash. That was the last pay-per-view that I felt it was great. It was right after WrestleMania and whatnot. And I think that was the Randy Orton match, if I'm correct. With Cena. But WWE is not even trying to make these shows better. Monday Night Raws are like, and then WWE SmackDown is there, and the guys made a comment last night that made a lot of sense, which was Ari Emanuel might be is saying, "Oh, the bloodline. We need the bloodline on these shows. We need the bloodline because they're in the game. We need the bloodline here." And somebody said, "Well, Triple H got to, grab his balls and stand up to Ari Emanuel and be like, listen, I'm running this shit, not you." You know what I'm saying? But apparently that's not what's happening. And I've been saying this since after WrestleMania. The storylines look too familiar the way they were before WrestleMania, and they look like they haven't changed. You know what I'm saying? Right now, that Judgment Day group should be disbanded, because in reality, so many people has gone through that group. You know what I'm saying? And it's still keeping the Judgment Day. And it comes down to why aren't factions made that's gonna actually, bring in audience to watch. They still stuck on this bloodline, and that's the problem with WWE. They get stuck in nostalgia, and they keep it up. You know what I'm saying? Right now, do you still call Sosa Core's team the Bloodline? And why not? Because they lost to the original Bloodline at the War Games. Okay, and this thing with Karrion Kross, you have to look at it and be like, okay, they shitted on him again. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And as far as the women's is concerned, or OPC said it last night, he figures why when it comes to regular shows, we see changes in women's titles at Raw and SmackDown, but when it comes to the pay-per-views, the girls that you think they're going to win doesn't win. I don't know. Again, maybe Bruce Pritchard running the fucking women's division because he doesn't like women's wrestling, or it could be Michael Hayes, one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? So, it's crazy. It's really crazy because I don't see a spark. I don't see that spark that WWE had 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Their shows were good. You know what I'm saying? I remember WrestleMania, I believe it was 39, man. The match between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, that match was dope. And now we don't even get that type of matches anymore. It's just like, you're waiting for something to happen that you could talk about, and you got to wait till the end of the show for the show itself to be saved. You know what I'm saying? Now tonight we have, you got AJ Styles versus, Dominic Mysterio. A lot of people think that AJ Styles is going to beat Dominic Mysterio. I don't think so, because I think Dominic, they're going to push him even much more now that he's going after the mega champion AAA. He may win that and have both belts together. You know what I'm saying? And I see it happening because, again, WWE's petty. Right now, MJF just won the CMLL world title. He said it's the world title. OPC says the welterweight title. So he won a title in Mexico, which will lead to him wrestling Mystico for that belt and probably Forbidden Door. But I see Dominic winning that belt and keeping the Intercontinental tonight. Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa in the cage match. That's the match I really want to see. I want to see if, Jacob Fatu does some crazy shit from the top rope, from the top of the cage, actually, and see if he could do some crazy. I think that's going to be the show. The match is going to take it. Valkyria is probably going to beat Becky Lynch, because if she doesn't, she can never challenge Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship. Or we always think, sometimes we see the champion win, and now she doesn't get another title shot. I mean, and all this is happening tonight. And John Cena versus Cody. People are saying that most likely Cody may turn heel. Others are saying that maybe John Cena is playing himself because he did that promo on Friday where it sounded like he's the baby face. He could just be lying. And do I see Cody Rhodes winning the belt? I mean, Cody doesn't get the belt now. He might get it at Survivor Series. And then that's the month after that. That's when Cena leads. But I think Cena may lose the belt tonight. Something's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You got Cody Rhodes cheap. Same way that Cena kicked him in the nuts. It could be a nut fest. Like Justin and the guys were talking about last night. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting tonight. And whatnot. So, guys, let me know what you think. Let me know what's your thoughts. And of course, subscribe to the channel for the latest update and news on the world of wrestling and whatnot. So, we always get up here every weekend, talk about the latest stuff going on, sometime on the weekdays, depending on the topic. And of course, you got any questions in the live chat or comments, you can leave your comments. I will get back to you as soon as I can and whatnot. Other than that, if you can, again, I'm sorry what happened earlier. The fucking light went out. That shit. It's always something happening around me. Either the technical difficulty, light goes out, something falls out next to me, you know what I'm saying? But that's part of live broadcasting. So again, guys, you want to follow me, also check out my Facebook, Instagram, the X, and of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help the channel by giving us a thumbs up. I will appreciate it. Leave me your comments, your thoughts, and whatnot. Also, we're available on TikTok, the Chokeslam Wrestling, and whatnot. Also, check out the podcast store. We got merchandise, and that is tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. There it is right there on the bottom screen. T-shirts, hats, hoodies. Fall's coming around, guys. So see if you could get a hoodie for a friend, whatever. So check out that, and definitely keep following us. We're on the road to 500 viewers, guys. The road to 500. We need 500. We're almost there. And when I subscribe, and I will see you guys next week with more of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.